case of 23-year-old Kada Scott, who disappeared 2 weeks ago from Chestnut Hill. In a news conference just a short time ago, Philadelphia officials confirmed that human remains found over the weekend were that of Kada Scott.
Police searched the same spot for days. So how did they suddenly find her there? She was only 23, bright, quiet, and focused on building a future. When she left home for her overnight shift, no one imagined that would be the last time her family saw her alive. But what came next would shake the entire city of Philadelphia, because when police finally found her, it wasn't just where they found her that stunned people. It was how. They had searched that exact spot for almost a week, with dogs, drones, and officers combing every inch. Then suddenly, one anonymous tip, a single email, told them to go back. And there she was, right there in the open. So was this a tragic oversight, or did someone move her there on purpose? Let's piece together what really happened to Kada Scott. On the evening of October 4th, Kada Scott left her family home in Philadelphia. She worked at a senior living facility, the kind of job that took compassion and patience, both qualities she had plenty of. She clocked in as usual. Nothing seemed strange, but a few hours later, she signed out early. No one knows why. Co-workers later said she looked distracted, checking her phone more than usual, almost as if waiting for a message. One remembered her saying quietly, "I'll be right back," but she never returned. The security footage from that night showed her walking briskly toward the parking lot, alone, calm, and unaware she was walking into the final chapter of her life. The next morning, her car was still sitting in the parking lot. Her phone, keys, and ID were gone. She didn't answer messages or calls. When her mother couldn't reach her, panic spread quickly, because Kada wasn't the type to just disappear. That's when the missing person report went out, and the story began spreading across social media. But even then, there were warning signs that the people closest to her didn't fully understand yet. In the days before she vanished, Kada told friends someone had been bothering her, calling, following, making her uneasy. She didn't name names. One friend remembered a chilling detail. Kada had said the calls often came from different numbers, always late at night, with the same low male voice asking if she was still working the night shift. She laughed it off at first, thinking it was a prank. But that week, her tone changed. She told her mother she was done entertaining strangers. Sadly, she never got the chance to explain what she meant. But after she disappeared, that person suddenly had a name. Keon King. He was 21, someone she apparently met shortly before the incident. Investigators believe she met him the same night she left work early. At first, police didn't have much to go on, just a connection through her phone records and the car he was driving, a metallic gold Toyota Camry. But what made people shudder later wasn't the new name in the story. It was his past. Earlier that same year, King had been accused of kidnapping another woman. She survived, barely. But when the case went to court, the key witness didn't show up. The charges were dropped. Locals were furious when they learned this later. Many said the system gave King a free pass, one that cost another woman her life. The district attorney's office later admitted mistakes were made. But for Kada's family, apologies meant nothing. They wanted to know why a man accused of violence was still walking the streets, and why no one seemed to notice the danger until it was too late. Think about that. A man accused of dragging a woman into her own car and hurting her simply walked free because the witness was too scared to testify. Now, months later, another woman connected to him had gone missing. Police knew the similarities were impossible to ignore. When they finally found King, he was charged with kidnapping and stalking in Kada's case. But her location was still a mystery. And that's when the search began, a search that would soon expose a much deeper problem. For days, police searched an overgrown lot near the abandoned Ada H. Lewis Middle School in East Germantown. It wasn't just any random place. It was a spot King was known to pass by. Officers brought in drones, K9 units, and local volunteers. They found her phone case, glasses, and a debit card with her name, but not her. Investigators flagged that detail as crucial. The items looked freshly dropped, not weather-worn, suggesting they might have been placed there later. Some officers began to suspect the scene had been staged, or that whoever took her wanted police to find those things first. But without proof, the search dragged on, each hour feeling heavier for the people waiting at the barricades. Families stood behind yellow tape, waiting. Community members started asking hard questions. How could they find her belongings but not her? People were told the area had been thoroughly searched. Yet an email arrived at police headquarters. No name, no return address, just a message. Go back to the school. You missed her. The next morning, officers returned to the site they'd already cleared. Then came the confirmation everyone dreaded. One officer stepped onto a patch of disturbed ground and realized it wasn't just soil. Buried in a shallow grave was a young woman. Clothing matched the description. Nearby were items the family recognized instantly. The DNA test later confirmed what no one wanted to believe. It was Kada. But that only raised new questions. If police had been there days earlier, how could they have missed her? Was she placed there later? And who sent that eerily specific tip? The city wanted answers, but instead, what they got was more confusion and a growing list of suspects who didn't seem to make sense. After the discovery, social media exploded. People started pointing fingers, not just at King, but at others connected to the story. One woman named Gabby became the center of online suspicion. She posted long explanations claiming she barely knew Kada, but admitted she was close friends with King, and that he called her the night Kada went missing. She said it was a casual chat, but viewers couldn't ignore how her post seemed to reveal information before it was public. Then there was Kada's brother, seen outside the nursing home acting strangely during search efforts. Some said he appeared nervous, others claimed he tried to stop people from entering. Nothing proven, but it deepened the feeling that too many people were hiding something. As online detectives debated theories, one truth became clear. This case wasn't just about one man and one victim. It was about how fear, rumor, and silence can twist reality faster than facts can catch up. Still, behind the noise, the investigators kept working, and what they uncovered next tied everything together. Through camera footage from the nearby Aubrey Recreation Centre, investigators saw King's car near the school, not once but twice. In one clip, there seemed to be another person with him. The vehicle was later found burned out, miles away. The fire had been set deliberately. Investigators said accelerant traces were found near the passenger seat, leading them to believe someone wanted every piece of evidence gone. But fire doesn't erase everything. Beneath the melted plastic, lab teams found fibers and partial fingerprints, enough to confirm what they'd suspected. There was more than one person involved that night. Investigators believe that same vehicle was used the night Kada disappeared. Forensic teams are still analyzing evidence from the burned-out car, but officials haven't released what, if anything, was recovered inside, and no one had been charged with murder. The case, prosecutors said, is still active. Meanwhile, Kada's family is still waiting for justice, and the community is demanding answers. Investigators are now reviewing evidence that could reveal whether her body was placed at the school after the first search, a question that could completely change this case. The district attorney's office has confirmed new forensic testing is underway, but so far no additional arrests have been made. Neighbors say they're tired of silence. They want transparency, and they want it now. Right now, one man sits in custody, but the mystery is far from over. Who moved Kada's remains? Who sent that anonymous email? And how many people knew the truth before police did? This story is still unfolding, and we'll keep following every update as it develops. If you're following the Kada Scott investigation, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe this was a one-person act or something bigger? And make sure to subscribe to Star Binge for ongoing updates on this case and other breaking stories that everyone's talking about. Because sometimes the next headline starts with one question no one can yet answer.